Hey guys, Kyle here, classfordisparers.com, and in today's video we're going to be going over our top 5 must-have tools for every vintage British motorcycle enthusiast. So if you own a vintage British motorcycle and you don't have some of these tools, I'm going to go over the top 5 tools and which is going to help you become a better mechanic and help when you're ordering parts. So if you guys are interested in watching this video, stay tuned. Okay, so let's start with number 5. We have our digital voltage meter. This one is specifically from Harbor and Freight. Now the Harbor and Freight one is affordable and it's convenient because, let's face it, there's a Harbor Freight basically in every city. But if you don't have a voltage meter, I do recommend getting one. We use this to check voltage on the batteries. We use it to fault trace any type of issues that are in the electrical system. You can also use it to test your Zener diode, your stator, your regulator. It is a really good unit to have in your garage. You can also find some online that are very compact, so you can actually take it on your motorcycle. So if you go for a ride and you have some electrical issues, this will definitely help you along the way. So if you have a vintage British motorcycle and you don't have one of these devices, I highly recommend that you get one. And again, you can find one locally, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, and it doesn't have to be anything specific. So the next time you run into any type of issues with your vintage British motorcycle, you're better equipped by using a digital voltage meter. Moving on to number 4, we have our British Whitworth or British Standard tools. So this one right here is made by Rolson. We do sell this on the website. And then we have our favorite sockets made by Koken. These are made in Japan. I believe both of these are actually made in Japan. So working on British motorcycles, you're gonna find all kinds of different threads. You're gonna find all kinds of different hex sizes. A lot of it's gonna be British, some of it's gonna be American. You're not gonna find anything metric other than the spark plug threads themselves. So if you have a British motorcycle from about 1968, 67 and earlier, you're gonna go ahead and pick up a set of these so you can be able to work on your bike. Again, on the website, we do have the set here, and we do have a lot of Koken sockets, whether they're shallow, deep, half-inch drive, 3/8 drive. So if you got a vintage British motorcycle, these are a must-have. Don't use an American wrench, don't use a metric wrench. If it is a British type of bolt or nut, use the proper tools, do yourself a favor, and pick up a set off the website. So with that being said, let's start moving on to number 3. Moving forward to number 3, let's take a look at our telescopic gauge set. This is a very affordable import telescopic gauge. You can also find it, I believe, at Harbor Freight or at your favorite online retailer. So essentially what happens is you have a device here that's spring loaded with contacts and a thumb screw here, which allows you to measure the inside diameter of a hole or a bore. So with that being said, let's go over to the barrel right here and show you how it works. So if you want to order a set of pistons and you're not exactly sure how to measure it, some guys will use a caliper and use different methods of measuring the hole, but a very affordable and accurate, quick way to be able to measure this, you can use this device. So you're going to find the one that has the right range. You're going to insert it at an angle. Everyone has a different way of doing this. You're going to gently tighten up the screw here, and then you're going to rock it forward. And then once it's locked in place, you're going to use a caliper or micrometer to measure that dimension, and then you're going to record the dimension. So whatever type of hole that you have, whether it's for a cylinder barrel or any type of hole, like I said, you can go ahead and use this tool right here, and you can actually get a very accurate and consistent reading. We're going to be moving on to number 2, which is the thread pitch gauge tool. Now the thread pitch gauge tool is very unique and it's very handy. I really do think that this is probably one of the most important tools, kind of competing with number 1. So essentially a thread pitch gauge has all these different leaflets on it, and it has all these different markings and stampings. So it's essentially telling you that if you use a number 20 and the threads line up, that this is at 20 threads per inch. 22 threads per inch. There's all kinds of different ones that you can buy. Some of them have American, some of them have British, some of them also have metric. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this screw right here. And I know that is a 1/4 but I'm going to show you how it actually works. So you have your screw, and then you have your thread pitch gauge. Then you're going to line it up. So as you can see, the teeth on the Allen screw and with the gauge measure perfectly to give you a 20 threads per inch. And the diameter is 1/4 inch. Now this tool does not tell you what the diameter is, it only tells you the threads per inch. So again, if you guys don't have one of these, you can pick one of these up probably at Harbor Freight or your favorite online retailer. There are all kinds of different ones that you can buy with different pricing. Get yourself a thread pitch gauge. It's really important and I recommend it. All right, so the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Number 1, let's bring it down. This is the caliper. We have a digital caliper and an analog caliper. You guys would be really surprised that a lot of people that are working on British motorcycles do not have either one of these tools. And it's really unfortunate because some guys are still using tape measures and rulers to be able to measure something. So either one is really good. Again, both of these will give you very accurate results. Some of the digital ones actually measure in half a thousandths, and then your typical analog or traditional ones do not. So let's give a quick exercise on how it actually works. So let's say we want to measure the diameter here. So we're going to measure the diameter. Now, 1/4 inch is about 0.250. This is about 0.240. So it's a little bit under 1/4 inch, but the nominal size would be 1/4 inch. You can also measure lengths with the caliper. You can measure the diameter of the head, and these will give you pretty good, accurate results. You can also measure the inside of the Allen if you wanted to across the flats. So anyways, this is called a caliper. You can get this at Harbor Freight. You can pick up a Mitutoyo or a Starrett. It doesn't really matter. I honestly, and I can't stress it enough, this is number one for this reason. Everyone has to have a caliper. Using a tape measure, a ruler, it's just not going to work. So if you guys can pick up one of these and add these to your toolboxes, I think you guys will be golden. All right, you guys, I appreciate you watching today's video. That was the top 5 tools that we believe that you should have in your workshop. So if you got a vintage British motorcycle and you don't have any of these tools, check out some of the links in the description further below, because we're gonna have links to all these different components, and these components will make you a better mechanic, and it'll also make ordering parts a lot easier. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know further below. Hey, what's going on, man? I'm trying to order some pistons for my cylinder barrel. I'm gonna put you on speaker. I'm gonna give you that dimension. Hold on one second. All right, so I need a piston that is about 3 3/4 inch. 3 inches and 3/4. So that's what I need to order. So go ahead and send them on over to me.